So I just wanted to pop in prior to my review because I got my review right and I'm not filming it again. But this little cheap ass H&M shirt was off my shoulder. So you see all type of bra and booby. I'm sorry. I'm just going to put this warning out there. If you don't like bra and booby, you're not going to like watching this video. But if you're here for the review and you want to hear the valid points that I make, then go ahead and keep on watching because I'm not filming this over. Hey guys, this is your girl Diva Fashionista, and I'm bringing you a review of the show Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta. We're now in season 2. This is season 2, episode 1, entitled Money Anything. This is an ironic title. Ironic because we don't get to see JD this episode, and it is, named after a song by Jermaine Dupri. And we get to find out that money is a thing, at least for the show's lead, Mr. Bow Wow, aka Shad Moss. Mr. Shad Moss, or BW as I like to call him, he is still going on with this Bow Wow challenge. If he was more humbled, he'd be embarrassed. Because if you're not familiar with social media, or like you're not on Instagram and Twitter and things like that, you may not have known about the Bow Wow challenge, which is basically Bow Wow posts pictures that doesn't belong to him. He posts other people's pictures. He fronts a lot. He puts on like he's living this luxe life, and he's still trying to show us that he's living this luxe life. We open up with him on a private jet, and he's like, "Oh, you can't Photoshop that." But boo, you've been caught posting other people's pictures. You've been caught Photoshopping. I think he even superimposed himself on a picture of somebody else. Like, come on, dude. Like, I don't know why he wants to convince us that he's about that life, but it's like, dude, come on. Like, he's just still super gassed. And I'm not quite sure if this is his show or they brought the show to him because like he's the biggest star, but it's like he's definitely not the breakout star. He is really not a lot going on. So it should be interesting to see what he does have going on this season. He supposedly squashed the beef with the guys that ran up in the studio, but now he's beefing with Jermaine Dupri, which is just like, really? Your mentor, dude that put you out there and that wrote your raps, did all this stuff for you, like that's who you choose to beef with? But I guess as we see, money is a thing. So one thing I did find very interesting with this season, because last season, we were pitched a show that was about these kids, growing up hip hop. Like, they grew up in the hip hop industry, their parents are notables in the industry. But what's different about this season is that the adults are definitely, they're all adults, but the parents, I should say, the parents are definitely cast members. Because I remember questioning last season, they're filming a lot, and it's not so much a supporting staff. Like, it came across as they might potentially be, but it's very clear that now, like, the parents are full cast members, including the brat, and like they are really involved, and they're cast members. I can't say that any other way. So we're introduced to Deb's storyline, which is basically, she's still doing her thing in the industry, and now she has a radio station. I'm like, is it a station or a show? So I would need some clarification on that. We'll see. We see Deb in the studio with the gentleman whom I didn't catch a name. They basically have a show, and then the brat comes, and it's not quite clear if she's doing a interview or she's just talking to them. But of course, the subject of the Social Death Tour, which they're fresh off of her Bow Wow. They're fresh off the Social Death Tour, and the gentleman brings up the situation with Bow Wow. Basically, Bow Wow is bringing up what happened on the tour, and now she compares him to Brat compares him to Tyrese. Like, he pulls a real Tyrese move, and how he's just been emotional, and she references that Bow Wow is like almost like he's almost forever 12. She does have to speak up for him because that is like a little brother to her, but she does acknowledge his poor decision making, his poor behavior, and she's just like, I wouldn't have handled that like that. Like, family business should stay between family. And Deb agrees and says, like, yeah, at a certain point he does need to grow up. And 30 with boo, what's going on? We go on to the the mom and daughter, more like BFF dynamo of Reginae and Toya. Reginae and Toya. It's like I want to be nice. I want to say something like, I want to say it's positive and try to be as neutral as possible, but I'm just kind of a little not feeling these two right now. And my thing is, I just don't like how Reginae has been behaving. But at the end of the day, and I just want to make that very clear, because I know I ran into some static about that last time I was reviewing this show. Reginae is a child to me. You know, I'm grown, so to me she's a child. So I can't in my right mind drag Reginae. As much as it's like I see she has poor behavior, and I will point it out. If I agree, if I don't agree, I'm going to point it out. But it's just like I can't drag her. She's a little girl to me. Like I can't in good mind call her a bitch. Like I don't feel comfortable. Like as a mother, you know, that's not cool for me. I know how, even as bad as my sons may be, like I couldn't stand for someone blatantly disrespecting my child, so I'm not going to do that. But I will call a spade a spade. So she behaves poorly, she's spoiled. So right now I'm just really just kind of not feeling them too much. I am happy for Toya. She basically announced that she's pregnant and she wants to keep that relationship, you know, under wraps. She doesn't really want to have a public relationship. And Toya's had a few just public relationships. So when things haven't, you know, worked out, it's like, yeah, we do get to see it, and we are involved, we are engaged, and it seems like she has overshared, let me put it like that, in the past, you know. So I'm not mad at her trying to keep her relationship to herself. It's just kind of odd, because it's like all of a sudden you're pregnant out of nowhere. Like we didn't know you was even with anybody, but congrats to her. I'm so happy for her, wishing her all the best of luck. But I think Toya got to see, or the reviews, or she kind of heard at us screaming at her, you know, from the internet, just basically letting her know that she needs to get her child in check. It's not so cute. Their mother-daughter relationship is not so cute because Reginae oversteps. So I know with the baby on the way and everything that's going on, Toya brings up the fact that she wants Brandon and Reginae to squash their beef for once and for all. But it's just like, are we still on this? Like we're still talking about this beef. This beef has rolled over into season 2. Like, are you serious? This beef is so first season. It should have been the first 3 episodes and done, but we're in the 2nd season and we're still talking about this. And what makes me even more upset is that it's gonna roll over at least into the 2nd episode. It's like, really? And that's where a little bit of a dragging needs to occur, because it's like, damn, y'all, it just seems like Reginae is so like secluded, like she's in her own small little world. Even though she tells us that she's now enrolled in college, we don't really see her doing anything. It's like, can y'all do a charity? Can y'all volunteer? Can y'all do something outside of just being mommy and daughters and fly and slaying on the internet? I'm gonna need y'all to do something else, because this should not still be your storyline. You're pregnant, and the pregnancy is not even, the pregnancy is taking a back seat to some beef, some old, stale, late, petty ass beef. Like I'm just like, really, like I like this show and I like these people, but it's like, come on, y'all gotta give me something more than just some stale, you know, refried beef. Like, please. So we gonna move on, because I could keep going. So the girls, being Shania, Ayana, Zanique, and Reggie, they all meet up to just catch up to see where they are. And I know Ayana from the beginning is like, I really just don't want to like deal with any more of that Brandon and Reginae beef. But girl, do you know what you signed up for? Which I did want to say that as well. I saw all over, like, at least in YouTube, they saying that they were going to quit. Like, they quit the show. They weren't going to do the show anymore. Brandon was basically telling people he is this show. There isn't no show without him. So he doesn't know what they're going to do. So to see them back is kind of surprising, because I fully expected the show without them. But I guess that check, that we money is long, and they must have giving them an offer they couldn't refuse, because they are back, both of them. And Ayana is still with old girl. Like, didn't I tell you to run from old girl? Like, old girl is no good, but she's she's trying to convince us that old girl she done mended her ways. She lost her, and now she saw what she was missing. So now she's on her best behavior. Yeah, okay. And then Shania has this mystery boyfriend that JD doesn't know about. So I'm like, I want to see how that plays out. Shania is so cute. Her little confessional look, she was like snatched. I'm like, go ahead, Shania. But we're gonna see how JD feels about this little boyfriend. And then we go to Zanika's still working on her music. She that music must be a perfection when we see it and we get it, because she been working on it, girl. So I want a hit. I expect a hit. I might just download it my damn self, because you've been working and working and working. It better be A1. That's what I'm hoping to see. And then on to Reggie. What she's been working on, what she brings up, how her mom wants her to meet with Brandon. Not this BS again. Like, girl, get a hobby. So the girls don't think that this is a good idea, but they're gonna meet. We see that. We'll get to that part. What I found really interesting was Brandon. We see a scene with Brandon in the studio with the infamous Johnny Blaze. Girl, I can't tell you too much about this girl, so if you know a bio, you know what she's about and what she's been up to, leave it down below. I definitely heard her name. Most recently, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, because I really don't know too much about this girl. But she has some type of a buzz in the industry. But I thought she was a stripper hoe. Like, just like, no offense, girlfriend, no offense, because she can sing. So she was singing in the studio with Brandon. He was giving her vocal lessons, and she was singing. Like, she was blowing for real. But that's what I thought. Like, she was a stripper hoe, and like she stripped, and I thought she was trying to turn that into a parlaying into like being on reality TV, because if I'm not mistaken, this is the girl that was just beefing with Stevie J, and she blew up their storyline, and she's supposed to be on several reality shows. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I might just be mixing her up with some other stripper hoe. But yeah, and I'm gonna stop calling her stripper hoe. I'm gonna stop. But I could just be confused. So yeah, then she messed with Drake. I'm confused, so let me stop spilling tea. So anyway, she starts to cry during her vocal lesson, and Brandon mentioned her dealing with Bow Wow. So yeah, I want to see how this plays out. I'm actually rooting for her. If you could turn your life around and you just let your talent speak for yourself and not just your booty and your beauty, then I'm totally all for that. I'm rooting for this girl so far. Okay, B-Zubs is working with a new producer. I believe the gentleman's name is Pimpin'. And he's basically still in his feelings about the tour. So he's telling, Pimpin' not to play his music for anybody. Don't play his music for Jay-Z. Don't let Jay-Z throw his weight and his name around, and don't play his music. And that he's really excited about the music that they are making together. That's pretty much the long and the short of that. Deb and Toya meet up, and Toya obviously is pregnant. Obviously she's showing, so they meet up. Deb tells her she looks good, and they discuss the beef. And at a certain point, I feel like it was about to go left, but what I didn't understand is the response. Like, the editing must be really choppy. Basically both of them are insisting that they got these goons, which I'm not going to say that they don't. But I think that the people on the outside, especially us, we take this, as reality. It's called reality TV, but a lot of it is manufactured, or some of it is work related. You have to go in and work with your coworker that you might not like. So the people on the outside are looking in, and they're seeing this. They're probably thinking like, oh, this is real. So then now people are really getting involved, and it's like, it's time to like, all right, it was a cute little storyline, but we need to put it to rest because other people are getting involved. But they're really just trying to really just convince us that they have these goons, and it's like over this little childish, petty argument that should have been done. But I'm gonna stop beating that dead horse. We here, you get how I feel about it. But so they start to talk about it, and Deb was kind of reading just a little bit, because she was basically saying like, they not gonna do nothing but run their mouth. And I guess Toya took offense to it, because the response that we saw, she was like, she's that type of mother that she don't care, because again, Deb was reiterating the whole "that's a man," really, what are you going to do? He's a man at the end of the day. What are y'all really going to do to this man besides probably get somebody else, you know? And Toya basically was just saying, like, I don't care who it is, man, woman, child, like, that's my daughter, and I'm going to stand up for her. And then, excuse me, and then that's when Deb was like, what are you doing? Like, so that's when it's like, I don't know, like, did we miss a part of the conversation? Did they not air it in its completion? Because the editing was bad. It was some real, like, just out, if it was YouTube, we call it clickbaitish ass editing last season. So I don't know how that went that way, but they did agree to get them together, and they need to just get together, and they just need to squash it, and it just needs to be over and done with. So then we see Zanique talking to her mom about her career, and again, with just this music that she's working on, and you know, Tiny throws a little bit of shade, but she's like, oh, so you haven't done any shows? Tiny, you know this girl ain't do no shows. You know she is not booked. She's not busy. She's busy working on the music, but it's not reaching the masses. So, you know, since last season, Tiny brings up that Zanique fired her. So it's kind of like, you fired me, but how's that playing out for you? So, you know, Tiny and her old band, they're back together, and they're about to do a tour. And this tour has been selling out. And she offers Neek to actually join the tour. But Neek had a valid point in the sense that she's like, will this be lucrative for her? Will her fans buy a ticket to see the OLG gang now? But see, basically, you know, she put it very nicely. Zanique is a smart, just very brilliant girl. Just saying, like, you're R&B legends, and I'm new R&B. That was a nice PC way of putting it. Well, these little teeny boppers come see y'all old asses singing songs that were created before they were born. I said it for you, Zanique. There you go. She put it well, and so Tiny's like, I don't think she understands the opportunity I'm giving her, but you know, I have nothing else to say about that. The brat goes to see Bow Wow in the studio, and she wants to hear his music, which he refuses to play for her. And the brat got upset, and she did check Bow Wow as much as she could, because it's like, you're not gonna do me like this. Bow Wow is taking his tantrum out on her because he does know that her loyalty does lie to Jermaine, and he's mad at Jermaine right now. So she lets him know, like, listen, you're not gonna do me like that. You know, I want to hear your music. You know, what are you doing with your music? You know, she does tell him that you owe JD. Like, even if you're going to go in another direction, which she doesn't think is smart, you do owe JD to let him know what's going on. You do owe it to him to let him hear your music, because wasn't he executive produce, or he's in charge? He owns the label. Like, it's just trying to just do this project completely without JD is probably quite impossible. But Bow Wow is insistent upon it. Like, he's in his feelings, and that's pretty much it. So you know, Brat leaves in a huff, and it's rightfully so. Everything she said was right on point. So basically wrap up this episode with Deb tells Brandon that they need to meet with the dynamic duo, and pretty much just squash this beef. Brandon is like, for what? Like, you know, Brandon's like, we're good. Like, we're good. Like, basically, that's just what it should be. Just keep it moving. Y'all have beef. Y'all don't like each other. Stay away from each other. That should be as simple as it. But that's not what we're gonna get. We need to have this one last hoorah, and I'm hoping that it's the last hoorah. They go to meet up, and Brandon and Deborah on one side, and then you have Toya and Reggie on the other side. And they like to end on cliffhangers, so we haven't changed that formula from last season. So we're gonna end on a cliffhanger and see what this season and what next episode will bring. I will be watching. Let me know if you checked out this episode. Let me know if you will be watching this season. If you haven't, I think that it's cute. The show is really, really cute, and I think now we've established what this show is really about, and everyone's playing their role. So this should be interesting to see. Let me know if you like this review. Leave any comments down below. Love reading those. And yes, guys, I will catch you next week. Hopefully I can keep this up if it's worth my time. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Catch you later.